feel awkward because you're watching me. You better look at the camera.
Okay.
Oh, I'm getting hot. She's like, tell us, girl. Well, welcome back to my channel, guys. I know it's been a while since I filmed a video. And I was gonna, firstly, it was my birthday last week, so I wasn't really thinking about putting out a video towards the end of last week. But without further ado, I know this video has been super highly requested and I felt it was necessary. So I have invited my mom to join me on the channel. So welcome, Mom. You've kind of been with me or stood next to me along the way of my whole health journey.
Absolutely.
Okay, so where do we begin?
Sure. It
started when I was small, yeah.
You were 4.
So I, from a young age, have struggled with severe eczema.
Yeah, that's when it all started.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what eczema is, what is it? Like, how do you explain it?
Okay. Eczema, or people that suffer from eczema, don't have a protective skin layer. We naturally, when you're born, you are very blessed to receive that. And eczema, people or children that suffer with eczema literally don't have a protective layer. So for example, Gabs used to love to be outside, used to love swimming, and swimming, because of the amount of hours she would spend in it, she would come out of the swimming pool and the chlorine would literally eat at her skin, and it was particularly the back of her neck, all her inside her elbows, back of her knees, her scalp, and extremely itchy and extremely uncomfortable. And unfortunately, the more you scratch, the more it becomes inflamed, and it develops horrible sores. And in the night, if you're sleeping, you don't even realize. But because it's for example, I think for those of you that don't understand, have a mosquito bite, but it's constantly there and it never ever goes away.
We always got told that it was very much diet related. So
that's when it started.
We went to a homeopath and I had bloods done, but it was called the LCAT assessment. I still remember. Yeah. And it was so much blood that, wasn't it?
6 pints.
6 pints of blood that they had to take from me.
Crazy.
And it came back with this whole list of foods that it said was causing my eczema and I was intolerant to. The main one being yeast. So from a young age, I cut out bread on my diet.
Yeah,
so
we had to.
So I haven't really been consuming bread and like wheat kind of products.
Yeast extract as well.
Yeah, so since I was young, and then when I say I had this list, I remember like strawberries or something was on it, like
and apples,
like things like that. So I would have to go to birthday parties with my own little lunch box and like go to friends' houses with my own little snack boxes. I was that kid that would arrive with like my own food.
Shame.
Yeah, and when I say it was instant, like even Matt was saying the other day, I would eat like these things, and within half an hour, I would just have full on. And when I say like how I explain it, because I don't think a lot of people like they think, oh, they get a rash, oh, it must be eczema, but it was like when I say it was full on scabs.
Yeah.
Okay, like remember the one at the back of my neck.
Yeah, but that was from the scratching over time.
As I got older, like my eczema started kind of, it was always, I've always struggled with it. I've always been there, but it started going into different areas now. So it was like around my eyes and around my mouth.
Yeah.
And this was in like grade 11, and then my gut started playing up, which was so bad. And when I say like I would have bloating and cramps, it was like, I literally looked like I was pregnant.
Yeah, like you were 6 months.
Yeah, like my stomach, it was rock hard.
And it was the inflammation.
Yeah, and I would look like I was 6 months pregnant, and it was so sore. And I mean, like, it's a pain. Like, a lot of people say they struggle with IBS, but I don't necessarily think. It actually started when I was 16.
Yeah.
When I was going through that wobbly, like, rebelling phase. It started then, and I would be in so much pain to the point where I like couldn't walk. And then
so a few rushes to the hospital in the
yeah,
middle of the night
yeah,
from pain.
And I mean, like, I've always been a kid that struggles with stomach issues. I've never really been the kid that struggles with the flu or the sinuses. Like, from
my tummy child.
Yeah, from a young age, I've always had, like, I mean, we're going through on my birthday this box of stuff that I have from, like, my mom's collected over the years of my life, and I wrote like a little prayer in one of the books, and it was literally praying to God saying thank you that my stomach's working, and that was at the age of like 4. So I've always struggled with my stomach, and so like from grade 10 I just started putting on so much weight. And when I say so much weight, like 20 kilos kind of weight.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, and it was over like a really fast, like quick.
And you were dancing.
And I was dancing like
4 hours a day.
4 hours a day, and I was just putting on weight, and I was eating like, I wasn't eating yeast, but I was like pretty much eating everything else, like dairy.
It was healthy.
But it was healthy. Like, my mom's always been very healthy with like the stuff we pack in our lunch boxes. Yeah, like she's always said to you, a rainbow diet, you must have like all the colors of the rainbow on your plate. So I was eating healthy, but I was just putting on weight and like just being bloated and so uncomfortable all the time. And like, even the girls at dancing will say, like, I would come to dancing and my leotard and be like, look at my pregnant stomach, you know.
I'm having a baby.
Yeah, I'm having a baby.
Oh,
If I can find photos of that time, I'll try and insert them. But like, it got to a point where I kind of gave up, and I was like, you know what, I'm so over this. I'm eating everything I should be. I'm exercising so much. I'm actually done. I'm just gonna eat whatever I want. I'm gonna do whatever I want.
Did. Oh my gosh.
And I was like,
it was a nightmare.
I was like, I'm so over trying, because it's so disheartening when you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, and then you see no results. You're still feeling sick. I was just so over it.
I'd be in the kitchen and they'd say, Gabs, you're not allowed to have that. She'd say, oh well, I'll eat it now and I'll just deal with it later. That was her response. It was like so heartbreaking to think all these years. I want to cry. but
you're gonna make me cry.
But over this period, it was so frustrating.
I was going to America for dancing at the end of grade 11, so this was 2016. I was just like in pain, and I was actually, my mood, I was irritable, I was just, and if you think about it, your body holds on to toxins when you don't go to the toilet. So you literally, like, when I say you're a toxic person to be around, you literally are like, everything that's inside you is coming out, whether it be in your moods, in your like your body, like everything,
attitude,
everything. So then it was towards the end of grade 11. I went for a colonoscopy, and
they gave you that medicine.
Yes,
and you still didn't clear your bowel.
Yeah. So, and it came up that I have a severe case of IBS.
Yeah.
So IBS is irritable bowel syndrome, which means that it can be caused by stress and anxiety. So it plays up then. And you get 2 types of IBS. You get the type I have where like you just won't go to the toilet, or you get the type where it's like kind of like Crohn's disease, where it's uncontrollable and whatever. So remember, I used to come home and nap from school and nap before dancing like every day. And I'm not a napper. So I went to a nutritionist, and we spoke to her, and she put me on this FODMAP diet. So you download an app called FODMAPs, and it's very, very, very general. So you like,
it's accurate.
Well, it's accurate, but it's like not to you. It's to like people who suffer from IBS in general. So it's not specific to like what's actually causing your personal IBS. So we were, because I mean, it was getting better, but I was still getting super bloated. I wasn't
Yeah.
I was still struggling with everything.
If anything, I think what really gave us the alarm bells is that Gabs had really now, even on her trip overseas, she had really been diligent with the diet. She thought, okay, I'm going to go and give it a good try once again, and I'm not going to eat badly, and I'm just going to really take care of myself. And she came back and went overseas, and normally people that go overseas actually gain weight. She'd lost weight because she had been so diligent. I mean, what we packed in that suitcase was insane, but it was all health generated and making sure that she would never lose her focus in terms of her eating plan. And then when she got back...
And I just want to say, before we carry on, the whole time I was following this eating plan, it was never a weight targeted thing.
No.
It was never anything to do with me wanting to lose weight. But it was my health. I was like...
Yeah, you were sick.
It was for my gut, and it was to heal my gut. It was never anything to do with it was we just wanted to get down to what is causing my eczema, what is causing my gut, because how can everyone else eat a certain way and be able to do whatever and I can't? It's just, so I wanted to get down to the root cause of that, and that's why I went on to these crazy diets, and it had nothing to do with weight loss.
It wasn't diets though. It was
like eating
plans. It's like scheduled eating plans. So you eating 6 meals a day, and you're eating specifically for the need of your body. And it was designed around the where FODMAP rhythm and the whole FODMAP process.
Yeah.
And then we were so because she was eating so well in terms of her eating plan, there were still problems with her gut. Your gut was still a problem. You still were not comfortable, and you were still feeling uncomfortable in your gut. And so that's when we decided to take her to see Dr. Brett, who's based in Hillcrest. And
I don't think he does the DNA testing anymore.
It's called GeneWay.
And I think you can do it if you type in GeneWay and your location. It comes up at all the different spots you can do it. But basically, they take a swab, and they swab the inside of your mouth, so they're testing your specific DNA.
Yeah.
And then when you've done that, it comes back with a whole book of results. So it tests every single one of your genes. That's the one.
So it will cover from everything.
It covers food, it covers exercising,
medicine.
It covers medicine, it covers the diseases you're susceptible to that have traces, the gene has a trace in your body. It literally covers everything.
Yeah.
So from that assessment, it came up that I have so many different genes, and the main causes, so the two things, for the diseases that I have, they said I would need to stop drinking and I can't smoke. So I got all these results, and we had clarity as to exactly what it was that I needed to avoid, and it was, my big one was egg, then gluten, which we kind of already knew from a young age.
Because we were baking gluten-free from 4.
Yeah. So it was that, then dairy, which we also cut out quite
And egg was interesting though, because you even before the assessment came back, you picked up that every time you had egg, you were nauseous.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
And it was the same with meat.
Yeah. So it was almost like her body, and that's the thing, is your body doesn't have a voice. However, it gives you signs and signals. And clues to say, that doesn't actually agree with your body. Why are you taking it? It doesn't agree with us. So stop taking that. You're making me sick.
Yeah. So I was still drinking, and there was I was just also being a student going into a res straight away. You do eat a lot of takeaways because you don't really have your own cooked meals that you used to. Halfway through first year, I was struggling a lot with my bloating, and I just wasn't feeling great. And then so I started exercising, and I stopped going out as much, and kind of started trying to follow it, but I wasn't following it strictly. And then
just being kind to yourself.
Yeah. And then in December of first year, I got so sick. Like it was so bad. I was in and out of doctors and I was in and out of hospitals. I did a CT scan because I hadn't gone to the toilet for, it was like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks before I went to the doctors. I got an x-ray and they could see the whole blockage and everything. And then they thought that I had a cyst.
Well, you did.
Okay, but that's
like
another
discussion.
thing. The cyst thing was putting pressure on my already clogged bowel, so I had to go for a CT scan. I went for ultrasounds, and we just saw this like blockage thing. So
it was so bad.
It was so bad. I mean, I went for the CT scan, and when you go for a CT scan, they give you like a liter of laxatives that you have to drink. I drank that whole liter, and I still did not go to the toilet once. The main thing that we were now dealing with that the doctors were really concerned with was, one, why isn't this girl going to the toilet after drinking a liter of laxative? And two, it's not, like when I say I couldn't eat food because I just want to be sick, because there was nowhere else for the food to go in my stomach because it was so badly congested right up to like the top part of my colon.
That whole cleansing.
Yeah, so I had to go on a juice cleanse for a week where I just had juices because I couldn't physically put food into my body and I was in so much pain. I couldn't walk. I remember just like lying in bed crying, and Trav was like sitting there and you and Trav praying over me.
Yeah.
And I was just like crying because I was in so much pain. It ended up being a month, a full month, 4 weeks that I hadn't gone to the toilet before I eventually did.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was part of me saying I never want to go on another juice cleanse, or me just like can't ever put my body through that much pain again.
Yeah, I think it was maybe a bit of both.
Yeah. So I decided I'm going to read through these results properly and start following it strictly. So from the start of second year, like December of first year, so it was the December of 2018, that's when I did my whole flip of diet. So I like cut out the meat, stopped drinking. I only stopped drinking halfway through second year, but I cut out meat. I like full on changed my diet.
And Mediterranean completely.
So I still eat seafood, for those of you wondering, but I don't eat it in large amounts because we figured out that when I consume protein, that's where it plugs up my stomach, because it's so hard for my stomach to digest, because protein is the longest.
As in meat protein.
Yeah, it's the longest thing.
You still have protein.
Yeah, but I have it with plant-based protein. But protein out of all food groups takes the longest to digest meat-wise. So yeah, I have seafood, but I will have it like once, maybe twice a week.
Yeah.
I don't have it every day. When I did this whole flip of diet, especially from when I stopped drinking, I just started losing weight like rapidly.
But like, that was also the inflammation.
No. So like my parents were like, what is going on? She's lost so much weight. This isn't normal. And I was coming to my mom because my hormones started being all weird, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm eating, I'm like exercising, So we went to the doctor because now obviously it was the opposite. So we're like, what is going on? And we were working very closely with my doctor on different ways I need to, like different foods I need to supplement. So I have a very high fat diet. So I eat a lot of avocados, a large amount of peanut butter, all of that. And we're kind of walking hand in hand, step by step with my doctor through the whole process. So whenever I came home, I still do, I go for checkups, and like we monitor my hormones, we monitor all of that. So, and the doctor said to my mom and I, when we first went for me losing like so much weight so quickly, she was like, well, your body was holding on to so inflammation, it's only natural that it would have lost, because all the weight I initially lost was inflammation.
All your organs were inflamed.
They were all inflamed because it was my body trying to cry out for help. It's like everyone's saying my body's kind of becoming like my mom's. And I know when I have flare-ups, it's either got to do with it's in high stress situations. It's not really food related as much.
Got that under control.
So I've got that under control. It has been such a process and such a journey. Like, my body has gone through so much, and I think like a lot of people have kind of come up with their own assumptions. I don't go out, it seems like I've lost weight quickly because they don't see me for long periods of time, and then when they do see me, it's like, whoa, you know. So I think also just being mindful of that and knowing that it has been over a period of time. I'm no longer losing weight. I mean, I've maintained my weight for like, what's the last 6-8 months?
Yeah.
My weight's maintained the same, like stayed the same. So yeah, I really felt it on my heart that I needed to come speak about this. It just gets very disheartening when you have to almost justify yourself for everything you do, whether it be the number of meals you eat, the sizes of meals you eat.
And I think what everyone needs to be aware of is every person is very, very different. But for Gaby's circumstances, she has to eat extremely regularly, like I have to. Like every 2 to 3 hours we need to have a meal, and it's what you've got to eat what your body needs. And I highly recommend that if any of you are struggling with, or you feel that you may have IBS, don't just say I've got IBS. Then if you are uncomfortable and if you're sore and you're in pain, don't overlook it. Your body is screaming out and shouting out to you. Go to somebody who can help you and guide you through this. And don't feel that you're alone, because I think that, and that's what's so awesome, is that Gabs has basically just put herself out there and is just trying to let everyone know, those that are going through similar things or might think that they're going through something and they're not too sure how to deal with it, that it's normal, that there are people out there that are suffering and going through discomfort in their gut. And it's really not easy, especially when, in terms of your survival, is to eat, to put nutrition into you and to have water. And that's how we are to survive. And we've experimented so many things in the kitchen, and we've had a lot of fun. And at the same time, we've had some real disasters, and so Gaby will definitely not have that one again.
Yeah.
And just for us, it's always been, if you eat this meal, how do you feel afterwards? And listen to your body, listen to what your body's telling you. And don't ignore it, because it's amazing how our bodies have been wired to deal with certain things. And if your body's saying to you, this is not going down very well, listen to it. Don't take it again, or test it and see. Maybe, okay, if it's nuts or whatever it might be, maybe it's something that you should be avoiding. And it's just so awesome that that we've come through this.
Yeah, but like, and I also just want to say, I wouldn't post my story because it is an embarrassing story. Like, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, no one wants to speak about their bowel movements on like social media, and I wouldn't put that out there if I didn't genuinely mean what I was saying, and if I was doing other things. So I think for people to also be mindful and know that I wouldn't be preaching all the stuff if I wasn't genuinely following it, because it's also putting myself in a vulnerable position and kind of exposing myself in a sense. So I wouldn't do that if I was like, I don't know, I wasn't focused on my health, and I wasn't actually, like, I was not following a healthy lifestyle, and I was trying to do things the quick and easy way, or trying to lose weight or make it a weight thing.
There's no quick and easy way with anything.
So I think it's just being mindful of that and knowing, like, it's been a process. I mean, I only really started, it's been like 3-4 years of me like trying to figure this thing out, and a lot of people don't realize that. So I thought, like, I should come here and kind of just address it and set the story straight, because I think a lot of people who don't know me have misconceptions of everything. And yeah, I don't know, I think if you have genuine questions about it, by all means go for it. But if you're gonna say things to other people, based off assumptions when you don't know them, it can just think twice before you do that, because it can be really, really hurtful. It goes completely against everything you stand for and completely against like my journey. It's kind of like questioning my character in a sense, and I think it's not fair. And I know often when I get those messages, it's coming from people who don't know me, because those who do know me know what I stand for. They know me as a person.
They know the journey.
They know the journey I've been through. So it's just hard. So I think me coming forward and speaking about this is also opening the door to you guys. If you have any questions and you genuinely want to know and you're going through similar things, please feel free to message me. But it also serves as a reminder that if you're going to say something out of a place of nastiness, be mindful of the impact that the words could have on the person's heart, because it does get really disheartening when you get like negative things said to you. I just thought that we would come here to kind of address everything and speak about everything, and also like for those of you that are going through similar things, just know you're not alone.
Yes,
and you guys can take comfort in this and know that you've got people that have walked the walk and are willing to help you where you can and give advice and information if you need it. I mean, I'm not qualified in any way, but I can speak from my experience.
But I would advise that you seek the medical
seek something
care
from qualified people. But if you have questions on who to get in contact with, how to go about it, you're more than welcome to contact me. I just want to say thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
So if you want more sit down videos like these, please comment down below. If you have any constructive criticism on how I could better these videos, also comment, because I love to get your feedback. And please like, subscribe, stay indoors, stay safe, stay healthy, and give your family lots of love. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.
Miles and miles apart.